Hello, everyone, and welcome. This is Go Behind the News, Credibility and Validity, and I'm going to go over 3 different news articles or videos that I watched, and we're going to discuss some different points on them. The first one was a news story. It was called Vicious Assault Shakes Texas Town. It was an article from the New York Times, and in this article, I feel that the writer was an independent person and that they were writing this news story independently as opposed to a self-interested story. And besides being a possible resident in the area, I don't feel that the writer had a self-interest stake in this story. The next point is multiple sources versus one source. There were multiple sources or resources of information in this story. There were several quotes from residents in town, and the Houston Chronicle had a quick insert in there, and also the school district. Also, does this verify or assert in this article? And I feel that it both verifies and asserts information. There's information here that the video from which the proof was gained, the video shows the allegations, which was then verified. Then there's the opinion of the residents, which supports an assert or a claim. So I feel in this article that there was both. It verifies and asserts. The next point is authoritative and informed versus uninformed. I feel that this article both was informed and uninformed. There's the authoritative information from the police reports and the video that was the proof of the incident. The police confirmed the proof and therefore is an expert conclusion. The uninformed part, I feel, is the neighbor who basically blames this child for dressing non-appropriate for her age, and that she should be watched closer by her parents. The next point is named and unnamed, and there are many named sources in this article. There's also unnamed to protect those who were underage. In my opinion, is this story credible? Why or why not? I feel that the story is credible. There doesn't appear to be a lot of bias one way or another. It's a simple report of a news story, an incident that happened. What questions am I left with after reading this story? I would have to say, what happened to the perpetrators? Were they found guilty? Did they have to serve time? And did the young girl move out of state? And how is she doing now? Does the article or video qualify for news? I would say that this article is news. It was verified by the police reports that were filed and the eyewitness accounts. Even though it doesn't affect hundreds of people, such as like a plane crash, I do still feel that this is noteworthy and qualifies as news, especially for the residents in this area. The next story was the Walmart report, and whether this is independent or self-interested. I would have to say that this is a self-interest report because it benefits Walmart. Multiple sources versus one source. I feel that this video was a single source. It was taken from Walmart and launching the news of their new product labels. Verify and assertion. I would say that this does verify. It was verified by the news articles following the initial video. I did go look up the information about the product and the healthier food options, so I did verify this information. Authoritative and informed versus uninformed. I feel that these are authoritative and informed sources. Walmart.com in 2017 posted that items with the Great For You icon must meet rigorous nutrition criteria informed by the latest nutrition science and authoritative guidance from the 2010 Dietary Guidelines for Americans, the U.S. Food and Drug Administration, FDA, and also U.S. Department of Agriculture, USDA, and the Institute of Medicine, IOM. I believe that these sources were named as opposed to unnamed. The sources were executives from Walmart. In my opinion, I say that this is a credible story because I've actually seen this labeling in stores, and Walmart is a reputable company. So I would say this is a credible news story. The questions that I'm left with is what qualifies the Great For You label? And this question was answered by Walmart.com again, noting that there's many aspects that they have to qualify to make this label on their product, such as a fruit or vegetable, 100% whole grain product, an unflavored, low-fat or non-fat fluid milk or yogurt, etc. And then I also say that this qualifies for news as it is verified. Hello and welcome back. And for the third news story, the manhunt for Boston bombing suspect continues. This was a story by CBS News, and I say that this is an independent news story. It was a news reporter from CBS, and that he is an independent journalist. I do not feel that this is a self-interested story. For the sources, whether it's multiple or one source, I say that there are multiple sources that supported this video. Edward Davis of the Boston Police Commissioner, and Timothy Albane, the Massachusetts State Police, and other officers and eyewitnesses. I say that as far as verified or assert on this video, that this was a verified information. It was a real incident. There's real evidence. This is a story that did take place in Boston. So this was a true story, actual events, and so I believe that this is verified. For authoritative and informed versus uninformed, I have to say that this is authoritative and informed. There were many officers in law enforcement that commented and were there. For named and unnamed, there were many named sources. I already referred to them. There was also one eyewitness who was unnamed. I do believe that this is a credible story. It made national and local news. It was devastating to hear about the Boston Marathon bombing and this aftermath that happened. And my questions are left, what happened to the second suspect, and did they ever catch him? I do say that this does qualify as news. This is a major event in many lives, even outside of the Boston area. They do state that this is an act of terrorism, or they were questioning, is it an act of terrorism? I do believe that this was a reliable source and very newsworthy. And that concludes my 3 different news stories.